Hello there, True here, and I am about to start some, take a break from Kerbal and do a little, Dungeons 3.
A long, long time ago, the absolute evil had, in the famous predecessor to this game, subjugated the known world and defeated good.
Hooray!
Now, in a world full of blackness and despair, it spent its days sipping cocktails from the skulls of its enemies and forging new plans over a grilled unicorn kebab. Unfortunately, there wasn't much left to forge. A few orc wedges, the occasional trick played on the little snots. There just wasn't anything left to conquer. As the weeks and months passed, the absolute evil grew ever more reticent and seclusive. From time to time, one could hear a slight murmur from the depressed evil's super-secret laboratory in the depths of the dungeon. Its creatures grew more worried with each passing day, and even started to miss its ingenious evil tricks. It was a somewhat confusing time for them. No beatings, no torture, and no being sent to a senseless death. On the other hand, it was a rather nice change. Eons passed, and the unicorn supply dwindled until suddenly, one wonderful day, the evil genius evil joyfully burst from its super-secret laboratory. It finally had a new goal. An unknown continent, as often found in sequels, lay to the east, sheltered from the wicked evil by naught but a puny little ocean.
Full of sharks.
It immediately had a fleet built. This was so powerful that it covered the horizon from north to south and was manned by the best and most powerful creatures at the devious evil's command. The fleet set sail for the crossing to this new continent, left the harbor, and sank. Yet that mattered naught to the couldn't give a hoot about its minions' evil. It instructed its goblins and little snots to design an even more powerful fleet. These new ships were gigantic. Loaded with devious evil's second-best creatures, the fleet set out. And that sank as well. The annoyed evil saved his relentless anger towards the shipbuilders for later. Obviously, it would have to take care of the matter itself. With a sigh, it cast a spell and created a shadow of itself, a creature of absolute darkness and evilness. This shadow flew across the water towards the east. There, it would find a vessel, a corruptible being that would subjugate this land in the name of evil, and the shadow had the perfect target in mind.
Gonna have to remember that F2. Step 1, build dungeon. Already did tutorials, so we good. Tutorials were humorous as well, so.
The great paladin Tanos, hero of the totally Eastern Kingdoms and a repugnantly good fellow. He was visiting the fatiguing library in Twistram with his comrades to see his foster daughter Talia.
Well now, Talia, tell me about your studies. Are you making progress with the writings of the ancient sages?
Yes, dear father, I have thoroughly digested it and have come a step closer to the good. The desire within me to do evil is defeated.
Really? Excellent! I am proud of you, my child. Continue to concentrate on your studies. I must go to Stormbreeze to clear up a few matters. I'll be back soon. In the meantime, my loyal friend Grimly will protect the country. Should anything trouble you, you can turn to him. Isn't that right, Grimly?
The door.
Aye, of course, Tanos. I'll keep an eye on the damned elf. Your daughter. You can count on me.
Then I'll see you soon, my friends. May the goddess watch over you, and the light burn eternally.
Bon voyage, dear father. I'll make you so proud of me. Who does good is good.
Yuck. Disgusting phrases like that always leave such a nasty taste in my mouth. These abnormally good heroes, on the other hand, had no inkling of the malignity gathered to the south. One moment a herd of sheep was peacefully grazing, and the next moment, whumph! With a fulminant explosive effect that ate up half our special effects budget, the shadow entered the world. His target, a dark elf caught between good and evil, was very close. As the shadow of the unspeakably evil moved through the world, all around it died. Plants withered. Animals perished. Sort of like a picnic with my family. The shadow of the far-off evil found itself very, very close to Twistram. It could practically feel its target's presence.
Take these lanterns, men, and let the light of the goddess shine. For the night is dark and full of terrors. And there's a pile of horse poo around here somewhere. I trod in it earlier. For the darkness! I mean, for the light! Sorry, I'm still in training.
Yes, well, that is somewhat suboptimal. Naturally, the shadow of the almighty evil was an incredibly powerful creature. But, well, light was a bit of an issue. It would certainly be wise to stay out of the lantern light.
Oh yeah, now you tell me.
The shadow reached the entrance to Twistram. Fortunately, this one was not closed, but it was brightly lit. Luckily, there was an unfortunate guard on patrol that the shadow was able to possess, thanks to its incredible powers, as long as it wasn't in the light. The shadow of absolute evil melded with the guard and took control of his body. Thus, it was able to pass through the gate with ease.
What was that? I think there was something wrong with that last beer.
Unfortunately, the shadow's possession only lasted a short while before the guard was able to free himself. Still, it was long enough to get past the gate. The shadow's target was close, so close. Talia, the dark elf. Soon she would fight on the side of evil.
May the goddess be with you, my friends. It will soon be time to open the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Come to the big square and join in the festivities.
Well, I don't know. I had actually kind of planned to spend the evening in the bathhouse.
Friends, this orphanage is very important to my father. Tanos, you know, the mighty paladin, the one you really don't want to offend.
Oh yeah, she's evil.
All right, we'd love to come.
Excellent! May the light of the goddess shine upon you, and let us experience this exhilarating spectacle in the big square together. Follow me, my friends, for evil, the light, I mean. Keep the light burning bright, for the night is dark and full of terrors or errors or something like that.
The night is dark and full of terrors.
Stop holding the lantern in my face like that, boy. I am Grimly, king of the dwarves, and I am used to the cold.
Blah blah blah. Something something dwarf. Sure.
In the distance, one could hear the unbearably good bells of a church. They must be marking the opening of the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Heroes, with lanterns, began to stream in that direction. The crossing on a red signal evil shadow swore, or would have if it had a mouth, and tried to avoid the lanterns as much as possible.
Whoa.
In the fatiguing library for our goddess, and in the name of my father Tanos, I'm glad to see so many of you here of your own free will.
Finally, the time had come, and the shadow of the passes in the
My dear father would be very proud were he with us today. He would be overjoyed to see us give the young and the needy a place to live and thrive. That's why I'm happy to take this orphanage and destroy it utterly, and all of you with it.
What did she say?
Die! I'll tear you to pieces. I feel the power within me. It's over 9,000!
unimagined powers surfaced in Talia. The black magic of the Dark Elves. She immediately began to unleash these powers of chaos upon the world.
And of course deals 1,337 damage per attack.
I will kill you all!
In-joke after in-joke after in-joke. Oh, what you got?
Like lambs to the slaughter!
The Dark Elf raged through Twistram's inexperienced guards. She thereby built up a tremendous inner energy, which she released into the world as a focus beam, while screaming, Kamehameha! Meanwhile, in the fatiguing library, they waited eagerly with coffee and cake for Talia to show up and open the new orphanage. The energy beam hit the cake with a resounding zap and reduced it to ashes. Oh yes, and the rest of the building and everyone inside it as well. The narcissistic evil patted itself on the shoulder for this. Or it would have, but the metal armor always made such a terrible clonking noise when it tried. But then again, that's what little snots are for.
Of course.
Obviously, the Dispatch Shadow had found a perfect vessel in the Dark Elf. Talia had already earned the title of Employee of the Month, with the utter destruction of the fatiguing library, as well as half of Twistram. The destruction of an orphanage and the bombardment of innocent citizens with magic missiles immediately made her the many-and-wasting evil's new favorite henchperson. Her evil deeds complete, Talia withdrew into the vaults beneath the ruins of the fatiguing library. There, between the slaughterhouse and Mad Archbishop Lazarus's apartments, she prepared to create something powerful in the name of the absolutely ultimately evil. A dungeon heart, the cornerstone of any dungeon's power. Far away, Paladin of Light and Talia's former mentor, Tanos, was on his way to the Empire's capital of Stormbreeze. Naive and trusting as he was whistling cheerfully to himself, with no inkling of his foster daughter's dark deeds. Though he was aware that as a Dark Elf, she always had a core of evil in her. He had hoped to defeat it through religious indoctrination with ancient mad writings. Well, old bean, You thought wrong.
Okay.
Twistram in ruins. Talia, the Dark Elf, had turned to evil and laid the fatiguing library in ruins. Now she began to build a small power base in its vaults. Her first dungeon.
I think this is like episodic, I want to say. Or it appears so. It doesn't appear to be in a continuous world. But that's okay.
Twistram looked like the leftovers from a heavy metal concert.
What? What have I done? Oh no! I've fallen to evil again. Father will be beside himself. He was right when he said, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Although, in a way, it was fun to be evil. Burning things, pillaging, and showing those nasty goody two-shoes where the hammer hangs. They just look down at me anyway. My revenge will be terrible.
While Talia was delivering a typical villainous monologue, something happened around her. From the depths arose a pulsating crystal, filled with the magic-savvy evil's power. A dungeon heart. Not to be confused with those dungeon hearts from other games. We don't want to be sued again.
Hello, greetings. What seems to be your boggle?
Secret mental messages were exchanged between Talia and the mentally savvy evil's crystal. We could explain this in detail at this point, but that would require a 3-hour monologue on my part, and I am definitely not being paid enough for that.
Right then. I will make these people suffer for mocking me. Father's henchmen never liked me anyway, and always insulted me, calling me pointy-eared. It's time for my well-deserved revenge!
Wow. Just
The game logic internalizing
Go.
evil
Where
had
you
given
going?
Talia an assignment. Out there on the surface were shamelessly good places in urgent need of destruction.
Nah, no problem. I'll take care of it. I and evil army.
Naturally, the strategically well-versed evil did not send its new general into battle alone. A dungeon
not?
had to be built, and creatures hired to provide her with a powerful army. Of course, the sophisticatedly thinking evil already knew which way the wind blew in a dungeon. However, should it be hit by short-term memory loss, it could effortlessly look up things in the fabulous almanac.
give me the gold.
The grandiose evil's helpers had not been idle. Well, they hadn't exhausted themselves either, but anyway, there were now some research projects the researching evil could pursue. The new improved research menu, TM, was now available. The new improved research menu, TM, opened and gave an overview of currently available technologies. At the moment, the selection was still limited, but that would change. After all, this evil crusade had only just begun.
Okay. More minions. start. Research. Okay, what is this? More creatures. Nope. Don't have enough evil yet.
Payday.
Okay. Oh, collector home. Can you give me another... Oh. Hold on. Okay. Expand the gobbler farm then. Expand my barracks a little.
Good will fall.
Return for a moment. Funky bunks. You got the gold. You got the gold. You got the gold. You got the jackpot of gold. Score. capture screen. Can't refer. Stop there. Yes. That's it? Okay. Now we hire... let's hire a goblin. Now... go forth, minions!
Who do you want dead?
How is Talia taking damage? Oh well, whatever.
Blinding beams of light met the dauntless evil creatures. They briefly squinted at the disgusting brightness. Finally, they grinned, satisfied. At last, they were able to carry the battle to the good people and were not limited to protecting themselves in a dungeon, as is the case with other representatives of the genre.
What is going on here? I feel disturbance.
The deeds of the conspicuous evil and its henchmen had not gone unnoticed. As a matter of fact, even a blind man could see the destruction they left behind. As idiotic heroes do, they sent out a small patrol to scout the area.
Move out, men! Have a look around and report back to me. While I would love to accompany you myself, I'm currently, teaching myself to play the ukulele.
Ouch. Let's kill the magic users first.
Hey, wasn't that Vinny's vegan cuisine? Oh well, no real loss there.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Hey, where does this lead? We should take a closer look.
The first heroes had discovered the not-so-well-hidden evil's dungeon and now entered its depths. Of course, the insidious evil had already prepared a despicable reception for them. At least I hope so.
No.
Even if that's not the case, I will kill these ridiculous
Huh? The armies of evil here? Damn it all, how did that happen? Time to call out the heavy guns. Right, men, get ready to attack in waves. Excuse me, sir. Wouldn't it make more sense if we attacked all at once? Where's the fun in that? Wave after wave, that's a strategy for real men.
Thanks to the enemy's limited tactical finesse, their destruction was virtually unavoidable. So it was time to decorate for the victory celebration, to get the beer and hire the orc dancers. Okay, maybe not orcs. I shudder at the thought.
They're going to be child's play. Leave them to me. I mean, hold them back and let them hit you while I deal with them.
Traps, traps, traps. Well, nothing I can do. You sleep here. Wait, do I seriously only have... I only have 2 bunks in here, so...